Hey there, today we're doing a review of the Bellroy Classic Rolltop. In this video, I'm gonna take my experience of reviewing the top bags in the world over the past 6 years, and we're gonna tear this thing apart. We're gonna fully pack it out, we're gonna double check its advertised capacity. I'm gonna give you my brutally honest pros and cons, and you're gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video, because if you're not quite sure that this is the bag for you, I'll make 2 alternative suggestions for bags that might be a bit more up your alley. Because here at Nomad Nation, our goal is just to help you find the best bag for your needs. Let's jump into it. Let's talk about the gist of the Bellroy Classic Rolltop. If you don't know, Bellroy is a company from Melbourne, Australia, and they make a lot of cool gear. Wallets, phone cases, suitcases, but I would say what they're most famous for is their bag game. They're really popular in this community of carry nerds that I'm a part of. But they're also a little bit on the outside of that community as well, as to where they're a lot more popular, not really quite like a micro brand anymore. You're seeing them in a lot of retail shops. And their bags are always beautiful, but that usually comes with some functional trade-offs. I'll tell you what I mean a bit more in depth in the next chapter. But first, let's talk about the top features. As the name suggests, it is a roll top backpack that has a quick access front compartment. We've got a side water bottle pocket, and we'll show you exactly what sized water bottles this pocket fits 2 chapters from now. We've got one side zippered pocket, which gives you access to the main compartment, a vertical luggage pass-through holder, and a pretty comfy harness system. But having worn this backpack for the past few days, I think there's a couple things about the fit that you need to be aware of. We'll talk about that 3 chapters from now. Now, Bellroy advertised this bag to be 26 liters capacity, and sometimes Bellroy can overstate their capacity. So here at Nomad Nation, we always double check, but keep in mind, roll tops are a little different. I'll walk you through why as I'm filling the bag up. All right, you can see I've got the roll top filled up to about here. And this is the beauty of roll tops, because as the name suggests, you can take the top and you can roll it, therefore cinching it down. But in those times where you need to expand it, you can actually roll it like less, right? So you can actually get the bag up to here as well. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna test out the max rolled top capacity. All right, now we're pretty loaded. Let's see, yeah, that's probably max roll top capacity right there. You can see we've increased the height of the bag ever so slightly. Before we measure the capacity though, let's measure the dimensions. We've got a back panel height of 18 inches, a back panel width of 12 inches, and a fully packed out depth of around 8 inches. Actually, I think that I want to test the volume of this front pocket independently as well. Okay, main compartment full, front pocket as well. These are factory grade measuring balls, and volume is less a science and a bit more of an art when it comes to bags. As you can see, we're at 5, 10, 15, 20 liters capacity. But here's what's interesting. This front pocket was tight as before. But now that we've emptied the main compartment, you can see we've gotten so much more potential volume and capacity. And this is why bags are so hard to measure, because volume is being fought for by compartments. But the best way to measure is with the bag fully packed out, because that's a use case that you'll actually use. So when the main compartment was fully packed out, the front pocket ended up being just under 2 liters, 1.5 liters. 20 liters in the main compartment. And then we also got a water bottle pocket. You might get a half a liter out of that. So we're at 22 liters, I think, which feels about right for where this bag is. And that's at the max capacity, right? For a roll top, you can sort of cinch it down, roll it down a bit more. So I'd say then, final answer, this is like a 18 to 22 liter roll top, sort of in that range. 26 though, it's a bit of a stretch. But while Bellroy usually overstates their capacity, which is bad, they usually make light bags, which is good. I usually like my bags to be around 1 pound per 10 liters, which if we're at around 20 liters, this bag is 2 pounds on scale number 1 and just under 2 pounds on scale number 2, which is a good weight for me. The bag currently comes in 4 color options. This one is olive, easily the best looking in my opinion. This is the bag when it's empty. And here is the bag when it's fully packed out and worn on the Nomads Nation team. Margaret's 5'2", I'm 5'8", and Jason Bagmoa is 6'1". All Bellroy bags are covered by their 6-year warranty. And for all that, the classic roll top runs around 170 USD. Now that price point is gonna sort of be my North Star moving forward as to where this entire review is going to hinge on that number. as to whether or not the bag is actually worth it. But just so you know, if at any point in this review you are thinking about making a purchase or you want to find out more information, we highly suggest doing so with the first link in the description. That link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. But that link also helps support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team, so we can keep making the best bag reviews on the web. Thank you very much. Let's talk about the front of the Bellroy Classic Rolltop. Starting with the aesthetic, and if there's two things that I usually say, it's one, that I love the look of roll tops, even though I can't really pull them off personally, I just think they look great. And two, Bellroy makes great looking bags. So now we have like Bellroy's first real roll top. They sort of like dabbled in kind of roll toppy bags before, but this is the first like real one. So therefore, by those two truths, it's obvious that I think that this bag looks amazing, even though roll tops are not my thing. You wouldn't really catch me dead wearing a roll top, minus for testing for this channel or for B-roll outside. And with that aesthetic, it's just kind of got this old school look, which is further amplified by this front pocket and by the choice of fabric, which we gotta talk about. Because Bellroy's new Canva Weave. It's a polyester, which makes it really water resistant and pretty abrasion resistant, but it's got like a canvasy feel to it, hence the Canva Weave, and it just feels beautiful in the hands. I am a huge fan of the look and the feel of this fabric. But functionally speaking, this is an air textured weave, which is super nerdy talk for the fact that like when you get in there with a magnifying glass, you can see that the fabric is almost like mini hooks at the end of it, which means that this is gonna be a bit more of a lint and hair magnet than other bags that use different fabrics. Now, in my experience, I didn't think it was too bad for the olive and for the butterscotch, which we reviewed recently for the Classic Day Pack. But it was a lot more noticeable on the newest version of the Classic Backpack, which we got in black. Yeah, but in the green, it's not too terrible. Bellroy's branding here, supposed to be in leather. I don't think it's leather, but pretty subtle, works with the roll top vibe. But let's talk about one of the stars of the show, this front pocket right here. As we talked about earlier, has its own volume, which I'm a big fan of. Sometimes pockets are just super flush, which means they're very difficult to get in and out of, but this one you can see, it's got a bit of a dad bod. What that means is it's not a six pack. We got sort of a keg situation going on here. And just like with humans, such things are not sexy, or depends on what you like. But like typically the more like flush, like this Waterfield bag, look at just how whoosh. But this front pocket, then it can't fit as much stuff. But we do have some access issues. You have this storm cover flap right here, which is great for weather resistance, as the rain will literally just glide right off of it, and glide even more so with the fact that this is polyester, which is very, very weather resistant. But yeah, it does get in the way of the zipper. Sometimes you're gonna get snagged. It's not the end of the world, something that you're used to on a typical bag. But for me, it was something that got a little annoying over time. Leather zipper pulls, easy to get into. And then inside the bag, we got a bit of organization. Let me pack it out so you can see what it fits. We're gonna put our keys on the key leash here. Not a bad key leash, actually. The leash itself has some decent length, making it easier to grab, and it's in a quick access location, making it even easier to grab. We've got a lining pocket right here, which my wallet fits in very nicely. Pen pocket, I don't know what to do with this. And then my sunglasses are gonna go here. This pocket, love it. We're using a very stretchy, slightly cushioned, wonderful fabric. I don't know what it is, but they've rolled it over so it's like double layered, thrown some padding in there. Oh, it just feels glorious. And therefore it makes me feel secure putting my sunglasses in this pocket or my phone. Like I said, what's cool about the pocket is it has volume as well. So if you wanna put a tech pouch in there, this is the Evergoods Cap 0.05. You could probably stack 3 of these in here. Holy crap, this is a big pocket. I think it's gonna be probably 3 or 4 liters by itself. Let's see if we can fit a tech pouch from JSD the size of my head. And it kind of can, guys. Wow. So I think from a functionality perspective, just what you can fit in that pocket, it's almost like you have a 3 or 4 liter sling on the outside of your bag. Now on the front, we have this nylon webbing right here and the actual hook. The nylon webbing is super premium and silky. And you can see that we have these slots right here that you can hook the hardware in very easily. And this hardware is really nice. Metal, nice feel to it. And when it's in place, it feels very strong. And obviously it just looks great. Oh, we also have 2 lash points here at the top bag as well, which doesn't connect to anything else. I just think it's there for clipping things onto your bag if you like to decorate or maybe carry anything externally on your bag. Now this hook system gets us into the main compartment with the actual roll top. So let's transition into it now. Let's talk about the middle of the Bellroy Classic Roll Top. Because here's the thing you gotta know with roll tops. While I love the way they look, I loathe the way they function, at least traditionally. As to where your old school roll top is just sort of a black hole that, you know, the roll is high, like the actual rolly top part, right? When you're here, you're like, oh, I can reach to the bottom, but then you gotta do this. You just increased like half a foot of space, and now everything's in the depths of the bag, inaccessible to your short little T-Rex arms, or is it just me being 5'8"? So a lot of modern roll tops have addressed this problem by doing like a clamshell style opening zipper on the back. Think like the WANDRD Provoke. That has a zipper all the way around, and you can then open that and then access the main compartment. We didn't get that here, but we got a different solution that I'll explain to you in just a minute. But yeah, this is one annoying thing about roll tops, if not the most annoying thing. I mean, just look, like you can't really, I wanna show you what's going on inside, but we can't. Bellroy did a really nice job though by adding plastic here, yeah. This just gives you a little bit better of a grip and a better of a roll experience. And I will say this Canva Weave just feels great as it rolls, because the fabric's got some chunk to it. It just feels great. That's nice. But what doesn't feel great is that limited access. Let me show you the way to get into it though. So you can see we have this side zipper, and boom, this also gets us into the main compartment, but not very well. As to where you can see, like, we've only got about 11 inches, which sounds like a lot, I know. But you'd be surprised how much bigger you might need it these days, because you can't really see what's going on, right? Like I'm trying to show you there's pockets over here, there's different organization over here, and if I'm having a hard time showing you on the cameras, believe me, you're gonna have a hard time accessing it yourself. All right, we gotta get dirty with this. We're gonna roll the top inside out. So at the top, we have this zippered power mesh pocket. Then we have the actual laptop sleeve here, another sleeve for a tablet, and then a power mesh pocket on the side. This is gonna be tough. Let's back it out, I'll show you what I mean. Here you can see I got a bunch of your typical EDC stuff. This top power mesh pocket, we're just gonna throw things that I want quicker access to. Gum, headphones, sunglasses. It's actually a pretty big pocket. Getting to it's gonna be annoying. Now, if you're an organizational nerd, this is not gonna be the bag for you unless you like to organize with pouches, because the bag in the main compartment doesn't have a lot of pockets, and you wouldn't want it to, believe me, because you'll never find what you put where. But if you do use a bunch of tech pouches, I got 1, 2, 3, headphones case, journal. All right, we're filling up though. Now, before we do, let's talk about the tech compartment. This is a 16-inch MacBook Pro cutout, and we're definitely gonna fit. We're not gonna fit any larger than that though. The laptop compartment does have a bit of a false bottom. Nice protection in case you drop your bag. And then my 13-inch tablet will also fit in here pretty nicely. Hoodie on top. I'm already annoyed by this bag. Oh my God. Am I being too dramatic? Like, is like, dude, it's a bag, like, shut the up. Or are you annoyed just by watching this? Because the access or lack thereof is easily the biggest make or break for this bag. So let me know your thoughts on just kind of what's happening with the main compartment. Let me know in the comments below. Now, in this pocket here, it sounds good in theory, and it is if the bag is semi-empty. Once you start loading the bag up, I got a bunch of tech pouches right here. It's going to interfere with your ability to pack anything in this pocket. But if the bag is a little less packed out, you can see here when I'm walking around, grabbing my glasses was not easy, but not terrible. But overall, definitely not a pocket that I would end up using. And I'm like, oh, I'm so annoyed. But then I see the bag and I'm like, oh, well, you look great though. You look amazing. But let's test out the water bottle pocket now. You can see it's on this diagonal cut. We got a nice height actually. This is almost 9.5 inches. And we got a drainage hole right here at the bottom in case you get any leaks. Bag is fully packed out. Let's test out a 24-ounce Columbia. Yeah, that's not great. Okay, so here's the deal. It fits, but that took a lot of effort to get it in there. So you're not gonna get anything thicker than a 24-ounce Columbia, which for everyone's reference is just under 3 inches depth or width, whatever measurement that is. I failed geometry not once, but twice. True story. Let me explain why this was difficult to get in. First of all, the fabric that is used for the water bottle holder is the Canva Weave. A lot of times a water bottle holder will have a stretchy fabric here, which allows it to expand. That was not added here, but it's not a terrible thing because elasticy fabrics get very loose over time. It might look like this fabric will never get loose, but it's got less give. And the other reason it was hard is on the flip side right here, you can see this is the backing of the Canva Weave. And you can see, if you can get in there, that it's like kind of rubbery on the inside. That's because the Canva Weave has a PU finish on the back or some sort of weather resistant coating. And that has some stickiness. So when the bag is fully packed out and I'm trying to get my water bottle in there, that stickiness is making it really hard to get in. But on the flip side, remember, every con is a pro and every pro is a con. This water bottle is not going anywhere. I'm shaking the crap out of it. So it gives you a bit of extra security. That's cool. Overall, I think if you have the right size water bottle and the bag's not fully packed out, it works fine. But if you're fully packing the bag out, that's gonna get annoying. Whew. A lot of breath. But I'm passionate about bags, okay? And I want you to understand every nook and cranny of this thing so you can decide if it's the bag for you. And if you're still watching this, there's a good chance that you might be enjoying a bit of my bag nerdery. And if that's the case, I wanna again welcome you to the Nomads Nation channel, but I also wanna tell you that here at Nomads Nation, we don't just do epic bag reviews on our YouTube channel, but we also have the Nomads Nation newsletter. And in that newsletter, I kind of take this whole thing of like carry and gear and travel and EDC, but to the next level. And what I mean is instead of like taking a look at bags with a microscope, we like jump into a spaceship and look at the industry from 30,000 feet out. And that means I'm bringing to your inbox on a weekly basis the newest drops, limited edition releases, industry trends and gossip, all the juicy good stuff, but like from the smallest micro brands to the largest retail brands and everything in between. So if you want to keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in this incredible community and truly read a one-of-a-kind newsletter that I'm just so proud of, we put a lot of effort into it, be sure to look for this globe emoji in the description below. I hope to see you in your inbox. Let's talk about the back of the Bellroy Classic Rolltop. I wish that I could say tech compartment. And like we'd say there's like a little like opening here, because a lot of bags will have a zipper, even roll tops, right? So you can access the tech compartment here to unzip and grab your laptop. No such offering was made from Bellroy. This bag is a little hardcore in that sense. Top handle though, less hardcore, more awesome core. Really easy to grip. Bellroy's same, possibly real, possibly fake leather. Really nice touch point and super easy to hang with its location. Now let's talk about traveling with the Bellroy Classic Rolltop. I think it would be an okay suitcase companion. Good thing is that the luggage pass-through holder allows you to carry your bag upright, and it's very well reinforced with the dual bar tack stitching. But it's a bit tight. Bag's fully packed out. Not too tight, but like just, it's okay. It's a little tighter than I'd like. As to where, you can see now it's really pulling this out of the back panel. The stitching is very reinforced. It's not gonna go anywhere, but it just feels uncomfortable. And it looks like the bag is suffering, but it gets the job done. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's a great personal item just because, again, that lack of access. Like with a personal item that's with my suitcase, I'm gonna want quick access to different pockets and different organization. Like this ain't it. By the way, while I am a backpack nerd, I also do a lot of suitcase traveling. And my suitcase of choice is always the Air Carry-On. It's incredibly durable, well built. I love that it has the ability to stop the wheels. This thing has been around the world with me. So if you're looking for a suitcase, you wanna learn more about the Air Carry-On, check the links below. Now, the last thing to talk about with the back of this bag is its comfort. The harness system's pretty good. We got nice width in the shoulder straps, 3 inches. That's where I'd like it to see for a bag this size, but less so on the depth of the shoulder straps as to where these guys, we're at 1 centimeter, so it's okay. I prefer more because the more padding in the shoulder straps, just the more comfortable it is when it's against your shoulders. We got really nice padding on the back panel and some nice ventilation. Overall, I found this bag and all the new Bellroy Classic bags to be comfortable to wear, except for two things. One, wish there was a sternum strap. I know that I'm maybe in the minority there. And I know why Bellroy didn't include it because look at how beautiful these shoulder straps look. But two, because of the design of this back panel, we get a little bit of curvature on it. And what happens is I get a little bit of not back digging, but back, hey-ing. That just made sense to my brain. I don't know if it made sense to you, but what I mean is you can look at the back panel here. It's where we have this extra fabric at the bottom, and I just sort of noticed it against my back. And the reason being is your lower back is pressing against this fabric and this padding here, which is nice and cushiony, and your back is kind of like going into it. But then here, it's not. So really nice here, but then a bit more coarse at the bottom, Nothing painful, nothing to be super concerned about, but just something to be aware of in regards to the fit of the bag. Last two notes, we got metal hardware, super premium touch and feel, and dangle stoppers, which is keeping no dangle Dan a happy camper. We'll see you in the next video, little guy. Now let's move on and talk about the overall pros and the cons of the Bellroy Classic Rolltop. Pro number one is going to be its killer aesthetic. Pro number two is just gonna be the little touch points, whether it's the metal hook, leather handle, beautiful nylon webbing. Like, that's just what Bellroy knows how to do so well. It's where when you're spending 170 bucks in the bag, helps give you a little bit of satisfaction in those touch points. And pro number three, I just love the versatility and independent capacity of this front pocket. But on the flip side, all bags have cons. Here are mine. Con number one, super tight water bottle holder. Con number two, the advertised capacity coming in like 6 liters bigger than what I would measure the capacity at. And con number three is just gonna be sort of that overall nightmare-y, cluster-y access to the main compartment. This is just not enough. Definitely not how I would like to experience a bag. Some people are cool with it. Actually, some people love it. Some people like that old school feel. It does technically make the bag a bit more secure from potential theft and weather. And if you're still here, there's a good chance that you are vibing with it. And if that's the case, just a reminder, if you really appreciate this review and you're thinking about making a purchase, the best way to let us know and for you to save the most money is to make your purchase with the first link in the description below. Because remember, those links make sure that you get the best price. And if we have any discount codes, that's what they'll be. Now we shall take the cons and the pros and combine them together and talk about our overall scores. One thing to know about our overall scores is that they're just based on personal experience. It's my experience from using other bags and using this bag, so do keep that in mind. For value, I give it a 3.5 out of 5. I think that there are other bags that can get you more value, but I think for Bellroy, $170, all the finishes, all the touch point, the really nice fabrics. Prices are going up, guys, so 170 bucks for a nice bag, yeah, it's not bad. Comfort, I give it a 3 out of 5. It's comfy. It doesn't like blow my mind with its comfort. I think that a sternum strap and a little bit less fabric and that lower back panel might have helped get that score a bit higher. And for the overall score, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. I think it looks great and we've got some functional awesomeness, but overall there's a lot of compromises you gotta make on this bag at that higher price point. And for those reasons, I do think it's a bit more of a difficult sell. But having said that, if you're still watching this, you might be like, dude, what's wrong with this guy? This is like a perfect bag and I love it. And I'm totally gonna pick one up. Well, if that's the case, just a reminder, if you are thinking about making a purchase, we do suggest using the links below. Reason being is that if you appreciate this video, using that link is the easiest way to thank us at no additional cost to you. And speaking of cost, that link also secures the best price for you. And if we have any discount codes, that's what they'll be. But if you're not quite sold on the Bellroy Classic Rolltop, let me give you some alternatives that you might like more. First up, if you're new to the channel, you should definitely watch the Nomads Nation leaderboard rankings video. In that video, myself and the Nomads Nation team, we all get together, we pick our favorite bags in different bag categories. It's a great way for you to see what the best options are on the market from a bunch of gearheads. We work in an office. We're surrounded by around 600 backpacks. We get to kind of take them and use them as we want. Everyone has different preferences. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you want to check out the video, it's awesome. I've gone ahead and linked that above. But if we're pretty close with the classic Rolltop from Bellroy, here's 2 alternatives that are a little bit different, but pretty close, that you might like more. My first alternative suggestion is going to be the WANDRD Provoke Rolltop. This is a great pick for you if you are digging the Rolltop vibes, but you want a bit more functionality. Like I said, WANDRD has that zipper back access. It's also got a killer aesthetic to it, a bunch of modern features, and honestly, I think it might be the most popular Rolltop in the world. I see it everywhere in Hong Kong. And my second alternative is going to be the Stubble Co Rolltop. Great pick for you if you're kind of looking for a bag in this price range. Again, I think it has a bit more functionality to it and a bit sleeker of a look as it uses a different fabric that's gonna be a bit more weather resistant as well. Honestly, all 3 bags are great. They just kind of got their own pros and cons, and you just got to figure out which one's best for you. But to learn more about the 2 alternatives, you can just go ahead and watch these videos here. If you got any questions about any bags, be sure to let me know in the comments below or in the Nomads Nation subreddit. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron. This is Nomads Nation. We'll catch you next time.